Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Sallallahu ala habibihi Sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi wa ashabihi wa sallam. Yes, my dear students, my university graduates, this is the last topic of our university program, BS program. The subject is functional English for employment. Sorry for that. So this one is the concluding topic. So let's start it. This is the deeper analysis of the two words. In fact, two terms. The first one is analysis, and we are going to take a deeper look into the term analysis, and versus we are having a step-by-step deeper look into synthesis as well. So let's start with the analysis first. So analysis versus synthesis. Analysis actually is a process in which you definitely there is a whole one singular concept. When you divide it into its components for deeper understanding, that is called analysis. In order to get a deeper understanding of anything, that can be of literature, that can be of science. So when you want to have a deeper understanding of that concept, you break it into fragments, and from those fragments you certainly look forward to understand the whole concept. Okay, so it is the breaking of something into smaller components. So look where what we have in this paragraph. An analysis is like a process of deduction. Deduction is that getting something out of something. Deduction, yes, in Urdu we say akhaz karna, wherein you cut down and make short a bigger concept, as I have told you, into smaller ones. As such, analysis breaks down complex ideas. I told you, breaks down, it's a division of complex ideas into smaller fragmented concepts. Smaller fragmented is pieces, concepts, small concepts, in order to get understanding of the full concept, the whole idea, so as to come up with the improved understanding. So analysis is for improved understanding. Okay, and you are going to divide big idea into smaller ideas in order to have a complete or improved understanding of that particular concept. So this is your analysis. And now let's have a look at synthesis. Synthesis, it's an elevated thing. Its value is higher than the analysis. Why its value is higher than the analysis, you will definitely, when I will explain, you will understand it. Its value is higher because synthesis generates new understandings, new concepts. It's a research process in which a valuable addition is being made in existing knowledge. So let's have a look at the paragraph that is here. in front of you. Synthesis, on the other hand, synthesis resolves a conflict set between an thesis and antithesis. Thesis and antithesis is a idea, and in order to prove that idea you raise arguments. Those arguments are called antithesis. So it is the game of thesis and antithesis that you certainly formulate some new research terms, some new knowledge that didn't exist beforehand. Okay, by settling what truths they have in common. In the end, synthesis aims to make new proposals. It's a fresh knowledge, fresh proposition. Okay, so by getting analysis, you break certain thing into components. But in synthesis, you certainly have a deeper look at those fragments, and you then evolve with, you come up with the new certain ideas. Those are called, that process is called synthesis. Okay, so let's move ahead. Derived from Greek. So first of all, we are explaining analysis. Analysis is the word that is derived. Derived means mahuz hona, from an analysis. Pronunciation might be because it's a Greek word. So analysis, that was the word that was the father of, the parent word of analysis, which literally means breaking up. As I've told you, breaking up. Analysis is by far mostly used in the realm of logic. So its huge use, its major use is in logics and mathematics, where you do know that in mathematics we break questions, we certainly solve them, then we make different smaller factors. So all that, those things are the analysis of that particular question that is given to you in mathematics before the time of great, and this is happening, the process of analysis happening from the time of great philosopher. The name of that great philosopher is Aristu, you know. So when learners are asked to analyze, I have already, the same thing is there when you are being asked to analyze a certain concept or subject matter. They are encouraged to connect different ideas to examine how each idea was composed. That you change it into fragments and then to join fragments in order to comprehend that philosophical idea, that mathematical question, that scientific theory. Okay, so let's move forward. The relation of each idea that connects to the bigger picture is studied. So you have done the analysis. Okay, then you definitely, then there starts the new investigation, new research for having new truths which were not in scientific knowledge beforehand. They are also tasked to spot any evidence that will help them lead into a concrete conclusion. Okay, get a higher understanding, you may call it. These evidences are found by discovering the presence of biases and assumptions. You know, when we come up with the ideas, that can be my personal opinion, that can be a biased opinion, tasawwali, biased opinion, that can be my assumption, my idea. So I want to release them, get set it free from my personal opinion when I will present those ideas to a higher authority, to other authorities of that subject, whether it is scientific or mathematical subject, whatever. If I present my work before them, so they will evaluate it, whether impersonally, without having my personal bias. So they will definitely tell me, okay, in their opinion, this thing is like this. So their opinion will be regarded in high esteem. People will accept them rather than I am advocating myself. So this is the thing. Was all about analysis. Now let's have a look at synthesis. Synthesis, as I've told you, is different because the learners are asked to synthesize when they are already tried to put together separate parts that have already been analyzed. That through analysis you have broken down smaller segments of the concept, then you are joining them to getting some newer concepts. That is synthesis. So breaking down is analysis and formulating from those broken components a whole new knowledge, scientific, mathematical, or any other field. That is called synthesis. It is like they look into varied resources, materials to get insights and bright ideas. From there, they form their own concepts. Okay, so it's a deeper understanding. It's a more valuable understanding that will create new concepts. So synthesis is formulation of new concepts from the fragmented concepts of already existing knowledge. So let's move forward. Similar definitions of synthesis from other sources state that it is combining two or even more concepts, broken down concepts, understanding, that form something fresh. Okay, this may be reason why the synthesis in chemistry means now we are evaluating different subjects in which this thing is applied in order to get you to present before you the higher concept of this. So in chemistry, as you look, chemistry means a series of chemical reactions. You do know that there are certain chemical reactions are studied in chemistry, from a complex molecule out of simpler chemical precursors. Precursors means forerunners, already existing things. Okay, this is the same thing that if you analyze a chemical reaction, then you definitely break down the the compounds, then they change into elements, then their relationship, then how that process of change occurred, and what was formulated in that change, and how that change happened. So this is a chemical reaction in chemistry. So breaking down and certainly finding all the fragmented parts, then how they behaved in that chemical reaction, and then afterwards through the study of those their particular behaviors, those elements, those smaller components, then you come up with the different fresh knowledge. And this is all about research in chemistry. So this was, and botany, you know, there is a process that takes place in plants. That process is called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process in which sunlight is used to make food for the plants. So the use of sunlight energy as catalyst to make an organic molecule. Organic food molecules are simply of a simple carbon molecule. There were simple carbon molecules, then that changes into organic molecules. So this is a process in presence of sun, and sunlight is a kind of catalyst जो है अमल अंगेज, जो कि अमल को तेज करता है. इन एडिशन टू साइंस प्रोफेसर यूज दिस टर्म द ब्रेड एंड बटर, ओके, बिकॉज through this process food is being made for the plant, and food is also called bread and butter to denote that something is being made. So food, with the bread and butter, food is being made through the process of photosynthesis, and sunlight plays the role of a catalyst. Is in its presence that particular reaction, photosynthesis, takes place. And so because in its presence it takes place, it's not included in the process, as I am saying that it is not an element. So in its presence the process occurs, so that is why it is called catalyst. So this was all about the making of food of plants. So food is being made by the analysis. How could you get this understanding? Because you definitely studied the process of photosynthesis, and then you made its components. Then you are able to understand that they are smaller molecule, they make change into bigger organic molecule. So this was the process of synthesis in botany. So when they mention about amino acids, the building of blocks of proteins, the same thing, making of food, then it is process of making amino acids out of its many basic elements or constituents. But in the field of humanities, now let's look in the field of humanities is literature, adab, because there are philosophical work, philosophical definitions. So is the end of product of a dialect, i.e. a thesis, and it is considered at a higher process compared to the analysis. So through thesis and antithesis you come up with the new theory. So that new theory is certainly a fresh knowledge. So synthesis produces fresh knowledge, and analysis is the breakup of components of a concept. So certainly the more valuable process is synthesis, that gives you extra bit of knowledge, and all the progress made by humanity is due to the process of synthesis. And this is definitely new concepts when come into being. They are then being analyzed, and then new knowledge comes forth, and this is a chain like work, So in chemistry, once more we are telling you, in chemistry sorry for that, he will perform any of the following, in which there is quantitative analysis and qualitative analysis. Quantitative analysis in chemistry is that kind of analysis in which you tell or you prove that this much of this substance is in this mixture. So there is sand, and you want to tell that how much iron in this, how much this component in this, calcium is this. So you are definitely make a quantitative analysis. So proportion, tanasab of components to tell your readers. Qualitative analysis search for component of a specific chemical, and last is the split chemical process to observe any reaction that occur between the individual elements of matter. So quantitative analysis and qualitative analysis, they are both the things that is studied in chemistry. So these are related to analytic work, and especially qualitative analysis is have a more concern with the synthesis. So in the end, synthesis is a higher process, as I've told you, that creates something new. It is usually done at the end of an entire study. Okay, at the end of some study that is being concluded by formulating the new concept, then joining them, then that is coming up with a fresh knowledge, that is synthesis. I just explained you. And analysis is like the process of deduction, wherein a bigger concept is down into simpler ideas and gain a better understanding. So, hope you have understood all these conceptual discussion. So, pray for me. I pray for you, and Allah will be our guardian and is our guardian, and will remain our guardian, and his guardianship is the greatest one. And I am saying goodbye to you, my listeners. Okay, Allah Hafiz.